If y'all ever wanted to hear what a Lalo call in to a stream would be like, it's totally just like this.
So, okay. Last call of the night, we'll go to none other than the infamous Lalo. Lalo, you are on the air. You are live. How's it going?
It's going fantastic. Good to be back on the show. We have 1,000 people watching, and the lights are now on. And frankly, one word that we can summarize today's stream is basically the term attrition. Attrition when it comes to this huge $350 million penalty put on our president Donald John Trump. And why do they do this? There is a conspiracy behind it, of course. They're trying to bleed him dry. You know what this case is about? A lot of people will read the headline and say, wow, they're really screwing Trump. They won't read into the byline. What is it? Well, I read it. This case is basically that him and his beautiful daughter Ivanka, among others, basically overestimated and basically just kind of raised up the banks for loans. So they said, well, our company's worth more than it is, but they paid back.
Everyone does it. Everyone does it, and they paid it back.
It's like if you're 5'8" and you say you're 5'9". Look, we need to round up, folks. It's a tough economy. In every way you slice it, it's literally the truth. When it comes to Donald Trump, he's selling his version of the Trump Yeezys. Why? In part because he needs to make money off of his brand. Okay. Why does he need to? Some would basically kvetch and say, well, it's kind of tacky. Well, he kind of needs to do these tacky things for money when you realize
they sold out. People bought them.
Yeah, and here's the thing. You might say, well, he'll put the campaign money into this sort of thing, these like bills or whatever. But the truth is that there's a ton of technicalities they're going to screw him on if he uses campaign funds to pay for these. They will lose the nonprofit status for a ton of these groups that fund Trump, basically. And so they're looking for every vector of attack to destroy him. And when it comes to people like Nikki Haley, they're staying in the race on that 2% chance that he does get arrested. They're preying on his downfall, and it's a pathetic thing to watch. And people will say things like Nikki Haley's gonna, kill people. She's gonna start a war. My thing is that I'm actually kind of occupied with the fact that she's mewing. Have you seen her jaw? It's insane to me. And what's more is that we've got a person in South Carolina, her home state, by the way. She, with home field advantage, is losing by upwards of 20 in the polling.
30.
That is untenable.
Upwards of 30. Yeah, 30 points. Right. I think it's going to be close to a 30-point win for Trump. Right now, I have it around 65-35. I might change it depending on some data we get with like crossover early voting or whatever. But yeah.
Of course. And when it comes to places like Arizona, we see Trump ahead of people like Lake, and we think Lake is going to win. And so it's a very complicated process we've got going on here. But what you'll notice right off the bat when it comes to the way that things are shaking up, this verdict is kind of a sign that he is winning. If he were losing, they wouldn't feel the need to sue him. But they're doing all these petty little things to see what spaghetti sticks on the wall, when in reality, virtually none of it is. And so these are some setbacks, but we're going to bounce back way bigger and better than before. And when it comes to Joe Biden, he's sticking it. Basically, as far as we know, the Newsom bros, we are felt it. It's over for Newsom Chads. I think it's going to be Joe 2024. And you know what that means? It means the opposition is a senile candidate, and that's horrible. And by the way, when it comes to Ryan Cook, rest in piss bozo, we love to see it, folks. Complete SoCal vindication among many others. Rep, I heard your tirade against him. I've seen this guy on election Twitter for too long. The Red Eagle Ops, we call them the election mafia, folks. They're a big problem. Yeah. I mean, it's true.
It's good. It's good to see. It's good to see their demise. I will say, because we knew this was going on. Maybe we didn't know the age of the people involved until recently, but we know this guy is being creepy on Twitter, and it's not hard to deduce from just like a 5-second glance at the account. But yeah, it's over. It's over. You screw with me. You try to run my name through the dirt, and then look what happens. It's hilarious. But it's big. It's bigger than me, but I still consider it a victory.
No, it's all about you. No, you're right. Actually, you are kind of like the symptom of the Ryan Cook disease, and he has AIDS, allegedly. Okay, he is
allegedly.
Alleged, right? Yeah, no, of course. So I'm not gonna expect. Maybe he is a virgin. His race is that bad. He doesn't have AIDS actually as a gay man. Listen, when it comes to Ryan, I really feel like a lot of people that aren't necessarily. I mean, this is really dollar store vouch, by the way. Dollar store,
yeah. It's
dollar store vouch.
Yeah. It just no horses this time. No horses.
Yeah, just teenage boys. It's horrible, terrible. Oh my God, Ryan, what happened to you, buddy? Jesus Christ.
He's always been this way, I guess. I mean, this is not new. It just finally got to the surface.
Right. Now, when it comes to the news, Rep, there's been an important debate among some niche political autist, and I wanted to ask your take. Who
Okay.
would be a better person to run for 24 vice president? Tim Scott or Ben Carson when it comes to like electability for Trump and like who you'd want to govern and whatever?
Well, who to govern would be Carson. Carson would be somebody who, even though he may come across like he's like, half asleep or whatever, I think like if he were to actually, because let's say VP is like the backup quarterback, right? If he's able to step in, he could perform well. I think he has good intentions. But in terms of his role as VP, it's a very ceremonial position. It's a figurehead. Carson's not likely going to run in 28. He'd be a good fit for the position. Tim Scott electorally, I think Carson is beloved by the base. I think he, maybe the debating would be a question mark. I think Scott would be better in that regard. I think you could debate the electoral argument for it either way or one way or another, but I rank Carson above Scott because I think in the job performance, Carson would be better. Tim Scott, we called him BLM Tim for a while because he, supported all of these social
Yeah.
justice, criminal justice reform type things and police reform. And
Yeah.
he took the side of
Yeah.
BLM on every single case because like, I don't know, he feels like he needs to prove something, I guess. I don't know, whatever. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah,
I think Dr. C would be great for the administration. I mean, he
yeah,
did a bang up
every
job
administration
as the
could use
secretary.
Dr. C. I think that Trump having Dr. C in the cabinet, Dr. Carson would be great. He was in the cabinet before. He'd be great in the cabinet again. But as VP, I'd be down. I'd be absolutely down. So
He's loyal. We love him. Call him a
yes,
dog. He's loyal. He's
yes,
Trump's best friend. He's great. Oh my God.
absolutely.
Dr. C.
Well,
Big shout out.
anyways, Lalo, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. And
And I will say, I will do my on point politics where I shamelessly shill. If you want more election predictions that are a little more Trump friendly than preps, I have 226 Republicans winning the House, by the way. So I'm a little more rosy, like the rose gold iPhone. And so subscribe, Lalo EZ03. I'll link it in the
okay,
chat. Thank
okay,
you so much, dude.
thank you. Bye. Okay. That's it for the calls tonight.
Let me know what you guys think. It's a little difficult to speak to like 1,000 people live and just freebase whatever you're going to talk about. Because imagine you're in the line, let's say several people talk before you come onto the call and they all talk about the same topic. So it's like, how do you regurgitate something original? So imagine freestyling something in a rap form, of course, about something that everybody else has rapped about. I mean, it's like, make it interesting again. I don't know. So I give it my all. You have to love me, please. Anyways, subscribe if you like the content, like if you like the content, comment down below what you thought, and I'll see y'all in the next upload. Adios.